I'm Mary Obana. I help people get unstuck. We are all meant to have full joy, pure love, complete fulfillment, and peace. You know what else? Each of us has a light, a unique gift that we are to find and share with the world. It's why we're here. It's who we're meant to be. But sometimes we can get stuck. Join me as I work with Spirit to help people from all walks of life receive the messages they need to hear so they can understand what's standing in the way of all the joy, fulfillment, love, and peace they are meant to have so they can get on with a life they're meant to live so they can shine. Real people, real stories, starting now. Hello there, and welcome to the Shine Podcast. Today, we are going to be diving into a topic, one of those elephant in the room type of topics. This one is going to be about the divisiveness that seems to be everywhere. I am going to share a way to understand it, see it for what it truly is, and a way to take care of yourself and find peace amidst it. Here we go. I can't remember a time in my life where there was such an overwhelming sense of division, opposition, separation all around me. Whether it's political positions, views on coronavirus, education, safety, freedom, vaccinations, the list seems to grow almost daily. And it's reached an unfortunate point where there seems to be little room for honest, civilized conversations, sharing and respectfully listening to and learning from other points of view. There's so much duality, right and wrong, good and bad, us and them. It's so binary. It can even show up as disdain for the other side, a sense of injustice, incredulity. How can they possibly think that way? I see friends and families engaging less with one another because of it, or avoiding going there at all, knowing it could create tension in their relationship or just ruin the enjoyment of the time together. I see people surrounding themselves with like-minded others, getting more deeply entrenched in their positions. So what's happening? What is going on? Why do people react so strongly to alternate or opposing points of view? And why does it feel as if there's an escalation in dissension? Okay, you ready for the answer? This is all the work of that sneaky ego trying desperately to keep its grasp on a world that it knows is slipping away from it. Huh? You might be saying, what are you talking about? Let me break this down. I've spoken a lot about finding your light, about recognizing that beautiful gift within you so you can share it with the world. You see, there's a shift going on. More people recognizing that there is something to those instincts that they feel. More people listening to their intuition, that inner voice that's there to guide and serve them, leading them to their light. More people going within. As people look within, they're connecting to their true selves. And when this happens, there's less need for the ego. The ego loses its grip. No longer are people listening to that voice in their head, that one that, makes you doubt and feel threatened, that voice that instills fear in us. Instead, they're listening to that inner voice, the voice that comes from their true being, one that they're learning to follow, one that feels more powerful, one that doesn't come with feelings of doubt or fear. Just knowing, only love. It always feels good. Now they know. The mind is where your ego lives. It feigns protection, but it's actually fear, which comes in many, many forms. Fear of failure, fear of loss, fear of hurt. It's where worry, disappointment, frustration, anger, and all that come from. Fear is what keeps the ego alive. The ego likes darkness. It likes to associate people's opinions and thoughts on matters with their identity. This is why you see people get so invested in their opinions and disagreements. They're allowing their opinion on a matter to define who they are. They are identifying themselves with their mind, which is their false self. This is why it makes it so difficult to have discussions. If you don't approve of the thoughts that come from their mind, it can be perceived as you don't approve of them. And that can feel threatening, disrespectful, condescending, personal. So defenses spring into action: anger, frustration, lashing back, defending their position, defending their sense of self. When an emotion gets activated, it usually represents an amplified thought pattern. See, the more one identifies with their thinking, their mind, the stronger the emotional charge. Our most emotional positions on matters usually come from fear of what will happen if. It leaves us with a perceived lack of control, lack of power over our circumstance, our lives, the lives of those we love. So there are two things you must know. First, you are not your thoughts. That is not who you are. There's far more to you than that. Trust me. Who you are comes from your very being, your true self, your soul, not your mind. And this, I realize, can be really difficult to digest. For so many, our minds are what has gotten us to where we are. We like our mind. It's deafness. We're proud of our minds. It's one of our greatest strengths. We may believe even it's the greatest strength. I know. For so long, I define myself by my mind. This also doesn't mean we throw out our mind. It just means we see our mind for what it is and for what it is not. Your mind is not who you are. An untamed mind can keep us away from our soul, our truth, our true selves. Okay, so that's the first thing. The second thing is there is nothing to fear. You have control, complete control over your experiences. No one has control over you. Step into your power. You are a created being with a power greater than you can possibly imagine. You just need to go within. Look within for your guidance, for your truth, for your being. And it's always right there for you. Going within is where you find your terra firma. Nothing will stabilize, secure, strengthen you more than going within. And the great news is going within is always something you can do. Your inner guidance is always there for you. You don't need to wait for anything, any situation, anyone to do it. You aren't dependent on another's action, permission, validation. You have ultimate control for the way you feel. You just have to step into your power. When you quiet your mind, you quiet all those thoughts of unease, frustration, anger, helplessness, anxiety, fear. Quieting the mind allows the soul to be heard. It allows your guidance, your true guidance, to be heard. It allows you to walk in your truth, to be. There is no suffering in being, only unshakable peace. It's the outside stuff that creates all the confusion, that makes you feel a loss of power, a helplessness, victimization. But all of these feelings come from the untamed mind, your false self, because your soul never creates feelings like that. When you operate from within, you're focused on all you are, not what you're not. You're focused on all that is, not that which doesn't exist. You're focused on peace, not discord. Now, it's important that we address one thing. Going within doesn't mean you're ignoring what's going on around you, like you're sticking your head in the proverbial sand. Going within enables you to engage with your circumstances, environment, communities, party, nation, all with peace, with openness, with respect. It is processing that which is going on around you for what it is rather than what it isn't. When someone shares a differing point of view, you hear it as a perspective. You hear it as a thought. You don't make the mistake of linking that perspective, that thought, to that person's identity, their character, their being. Everyone has those they love. Everyone has those that love them. Everyone wants goodness. Everyone wants love. Everyone wants peace. We all share that. It's our shared humanity. The mistake is mistaking a point of view as that person. We have to separate the two. Separate the thoughts from the person. See the being behind the thought. See the soul that is. Look for it. It's always, always there. A return to going within is important because it grounds you in yourself, in your truth, to your soul, your nature, your being. With that strong grounding, you can walk into your world with stability. You'll never feel threatened. You'll not feel anger. You won't feel shame. You won't feel judged, and you won't judge others. You are who you are, and others are who they are. And you know what? We are all connected. Discord, separation, division, that all requires participation. It requires our engagement. It requires our effort even. It requires us allowing it to happen. The next time someone shares a point of view on something with you, something you disagree with, separate the thought from the being. If you find yourself aggravated, starting to feel that angst, concern, anger, disappointment, that feeling, go within. It will ground you. It will nourish you. It will center you. Every one of us has a pillar of strength, this unwavering, infinite, always present thing within us. That strength you'll need to look within to find. And going within will release the tension, the fear, the discord. Going within gives you perspective, insight, vision, truth. If everyone would do this, the tension that is felt all around us would ease, subside even. We'd actually be able to have civilized, respectful, healthy conversations. We'd be able to exchange thoughts with one another freely and respectfully, and we'd work together to find the solutions our world needs. We'd rediscover our unity, and a welcomed state of peace would prevail. But it all starts with each of us, one at a time, finding our peace. What one does affects another. We can spread peace. Together is the only way forward. Find your peace so we can all come together. Thank you for joining me and for listening. Always remember to be kind and shine. Until next time.